My name is Erica Morse, and I'm the Human Services Professional and Provider formerly assigned to Jane Smith's case. I'm here today to provide documentation of boundary extensions as requested by the court. Jane Smith is a 42-year-old female client who received services from this professional until January 1st, 2019, for substance use disorder, as well as counseling services for historical trauma. The professional offered to provide transportation to the former client when she observed her after agency hours at a public bus stop, inappropriately dressed for the weather conditions. Upon accepting transportation, Jane informed the professional that she had nowhere to go, having become homeless the day before after her boyfriend kicked her out of their shared residence. Jane also stated that she had had nothing to eat since the previous morning, and after purchasing a hotel room the night before, had only $1 in financial resources. Jane has limited resources and lacks a social network. The professional began with consulting Washington state laws regarding professional boundaries. Professional boundaries are discussed in the Washington Administrative Code, Title 246, Chapter 924, Section 357, which states that a professional shall not undertake or continue a professional relationship when competency or objectivity is impaired. There is no personal benefit to the professional resulting from the professional's assisting Jane in seeking shelter care services. Therefore, the professional did consult with Jane regarding potential agencies that might be sought for assistance. There were no federal laws which can be explicitly applied to this circumstance. The American Counseling Association's Code of Ethics outlines guidelines for competence. In Title C, Chapter 6, Section E, titled Contributing to the Public Good, where it states that counselors should make reasonable efforts to provide public services for which there is little or no financial return. The American Counseling Association also outlines Title I, Chapter 1, Section B, titled Ethical Decision Making, which states when counselors are faced with a dilemma, they use an ethical decision-making model with documentation, weighing ethics, laws, principles, risks, and benefits, making an objective decision based on the welfare of all who are involved. Finally, the American Counseling Association outlines Title A, Chapter 6, Section C, titled Documenting Boundary Extensions, which states that if counselors extend boundaries, they need to provide official documentation, including rationale, potential benefits, and likely consequences for the former client and all individuals involved. The professional sought consultation from multiple sources. Dr. Kim Strom Gottfried, a professor at the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill, outlined the principle of competence includes having proper knowledge, experience, and skills necessary to address a client's needs. Dr. Strom Gottfried also outlines the 6Q decision-making model, which this professional utilized in the decision-making process. This professional also sought consultation with Melissa Garner, Master of Social Work, a home study specialist and social service specialist of 15 years in Pierce County, Washington. She is also an active member of the National Alliance of Social Workers. The professional proposed taking the former client to a meal and researching resource possibilities from a resource list carried by the professional. Melissa Garner recommended taking Miss Smith to a community dinner provided in the local area to investigate resource possibilities, stressing the importance of avoiding a dilemma when it comes to spending personal funds, in addition to the potential of discovering a resource at the community dinner, often hosted by local churches and shelters. After reviewing a number of options and all aspects of the situation, this professional concluded it was in Jane's best interest to receive transportation to a community kitchen to research and review potential resources for Miss Smith's needs. In the event of an unavailable community kitchen, the human services professional would utilize the agency's discretionary fund, which is established for these situations, to provide a meal to the former client. Following counsel of potential resource options, the professional advised Jane to follow up on all resources we identified as soon as possible, and to return to or phone the agency on Monday morning to discuss how the agency may further be able to assist her in her situation. Upon termination of the encounter, Jane Smith had many resources at her disposal and an improved outlook.